Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well, and in today's video we are gonna be looking at your shadow self. We're tapping into your shadow self and exposing all that is hidden underneath. So for this reading we have 4 piles here. So this is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. So you guys can now take a moment and see which pile or piles you're most drawn to, and once you've selected your piles, you guys can use the timestamps right in the description box below to jump ahead to your reading to see what your shadow self is all about, and I'll see you there. All right. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's see what your shadow self is all about. So we have the King of Swords. So for those of you, okay, never mind. We have the Strength. We have 3 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. Okay. So if you're not familiar with the concept of shadow self, it is like basically it was a concept coined by Carl Jung, who was a famous psychologist. And according to him, we have like a shadow. Everybody has a shadow self, which we kind of hide, which because the society doesn't accept a part of ourselves, so it just, it's inside us. It's all the darkness that we harness, that we basically have. So that's what we're looking at today for you guys. So for you guys, pile 1, your shadow self is basically a very cutthroat, a very ruthless kind of energy, because we have the King of Swords, who's really, he's like a tyrant. He's incredibly logical. I doubt there are any emotions in this guy, because he is like that. He's a powerful king, and very logical. It's all about the logic. It's all about doing what's right, not really taking into account the people's emotions of how they feel, or showing mercy as such. So it's a very kind of cold, cutthroat energy. And I'm not saying that you guys are like this. I'm just saying there's a part of you, because there's you and then there's your shadow self. So there is a part of you which can be, if you choose to let your shadow self out, that's how it's going to be, because we also have the Strength there, and you guys can see how he's taming this lion, how strong enough he is to tame that lion. So I just feel like your shadow self is incredibly strong energy, incredible, like really powerful. Like you guys can just tear through obstacles if it comes to that. If life kind of puts you in a problem or in a situation where you're dealing with where you're dealing with people who are probably not as powerful as you are, or not as privileged as you are, pile 1, you wouldn't, like, if your shadow self comes out to play, you wouldn't be showing them any mercy. You'll be like, no, that's not right. Whatever you're doing is not right. And you would just be like, out there throwing out orders. I mean, I just keep getting drawn to this King of Swords here. I mean, he's just so powerful and just so razor sharp, I would say. I'm just I keep looking at his sword, and I'm just like, wow, that is just, like a double-edged sword. It's just, you guys can really bring about justice if it comes to that. If you guys really, allow that darkness to manifest, it will kind of shake the world up, because it is that it's such intense energy here. And I just feel like probably this kind of happened, like your shadow self was formed due to all the pain and all the abuse and all the injustice that you've suffered at the hands of people. I mean, you expected kindness, and all you got in return was pain, and more pain. And that really just, fed your shadow self. It just fed that darkness inside you, where you were constantly betrayed. And now, and that kind of pain made up your shadow self. That is why that pain is going to manifest, and it's going to come out if you choose to do so. But with the 3 of Cups, I'm kind of getting that there is a need for your shadow self for recognition. It just wants to be recognized, because you guys can see there are these 3 cups, and these Psyche is here. She's standing on top of the pedestal rock thing, and people are just, raising their glass up to her. So, what I'm getting is that your shadow self wants to be recognized, it wants to be known, it wants to be acknowledged, and probably you guys don't really do that. Probably you feel guilty about having such thoughts, that, having such razor sharp thinking whenever you think about the pain, or whenever you think about causing somebody else pain. It's not something that you want to accept. That is why your shadow self is known as the shadow self, because it doesn't come out. It is all that darkness, all that is considered taboo in society. That is why we repress it, we suppress it. We are like, no, we're not gonna let you out. But for somewhere, your shadow self wants to be seen, your shadow self wants to come out, and probably sometimes it really, rears its head in your life. And that's why people they just look at you and they're like, why are you acting out of character? Because they don't know that you've been suppressing this darkness. I mean, we all do it. It's not just you guys, pile one. I have 4 piles here, so definitely there is going to be like, whoever's watching this, I mean, they have that. Everybody has that shadow self, that darkness inside them that we refuse to, release into the world, because we know the world can't handle it. But with this 3 of Cups, I'm really getting that, your shadow self really wants that recognition. It wants to be recognized because it has been hidden for too long. It has remained suppressed for too long. And it's just like now, going like, hello, I need to come out. Probably that is why, if you guys kind of think that you guys are not being yourself, you're not acting like yourself, know that there is that energy inside you, which is a part of you, which you have suppressed, which you have not been paying attention to, and it's, it's trying to come out. All right, so let's see what else we have in terms of your shadow self. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. There is the Fool, Ace of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. Okay. I just feel like with the 4 of Wands here, pile one, that your shadow self either requires stability, or it is something that once you acknowledge, once you start embracing your shadow self, you will find stability in your life. You will find that harmony in your life. You will find harmony within yourself. And obviously, once your shadow self and your actual self, they kind of merge, they kind of become one. Once you totally accept all of you, obviously there's that 4 of Wands energy, which is happiness, joy, success, celebration, all of that stuff. But I just feel like when it comes to your shadow self, it can really, I feel like it will be really great. Like, it will really help you if you kind of manifest it in a positive way. If you manage to, put a lid on it. I mean, put a leash on it, rather, not a lid. But if you manage to do that, excuse me, your shadow self can really help you become really powerful. Once you, try to get to know it in a healthy way by doing journaling, by doing some shadow work. There's a lot of pain inside you, pile one, because we have the 10 of Swords. It's betrayal, it's pain, it's heartbreak, it's failure, all of those things, all of those negative things that we hide from the world. We don't, or the world mocks us over, because the world is nasty. That's what I would say. And it just forces us to just show a part of ourselves, doesn't really accept the entire us. But with you guys, once you really accept your shadow self, once you really get to know it, once you really talk to it, you'll realize just how many new ideas you can come up with. You can come up with, it'll help give you creative ideas, new innovative ideas, because we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a blessing coming in from the universe. And this is the Pentacle, so we talk about the material world. We also have the Ace of Cups here, which talks about new beginnings and relationships and all of that. So with the Fool card, I'm really getting the thing that your shadow self, pile one, it is absolutely fearless. You guys can see it is right below the Strength card. And you guys can see this guy's fighting a lion. I mean, who has the guts to fight a lion? You guys do. Because you are brave, you are courageous, you're absolutely fearless. And I just feel like you kind of, suppress that courage, you suppress that bravery. That's why it's kind of, become a part of your shadow self, because people are just like, probably they don't accept that. They don't accept when you're courageous. They don't appreciate you being so powerful, so intense. Maybe that is why they kind of, shun that part of you, and you have no choice but to suppress it. But I'm really getting the feeling that if if once you become one, once you really accept your shadow self, pile one, there's not going, like, nothing can stop you. You'll be unstoppable. There's nothing that you guys can't achieve. There's gonna be like a new beginning coming in. Like I'm saying, your shadow self wants that recognition. It wants that relationship with you. So do not ignore it, because it is, at the end of the day, it is a part of you. And you guys are wonderful and so incredibly smart that you guys can really, I feel like, you guys will make really great business tycoons kind of people, because you have the brains to, you know generate income. You have the brains to really see, because the king knows exactly what the people want. you know the king knows exactly what the public needs. So your shadow self, being that king, would know exactly what you guys need to do to really embrace yourself, embrace your true self and take over the entire world. I really feel like you guys can really do that if you guys just choose to, allow your shadow self to come out and, have a relationship with it, rather than just ignoring it and acting as if it doesn't exist, because it does exist. Pile one, it exists in all of us. And once you have that relationship, once you have built that connection with your shadow self, I just feel like your life is gonna get so much better, because you need to acknowledge that pain. You need to face it. I know you've been through a lot. I just keep looking at this card, and then I just see so much darkness and so much pain. So I really empathize with you guys for that, pile one, that you guys have been through a lot. But that doesn't mean you ignore that pain. You do not ignore your shadow self, because your shadow self is like the most creative self out there. Like, it's your most creative expression. Whether people like it or not, that is up to them. But you need to love that creative aspect of yours, because I feel like you guys are really, really creative people. We have the wands here, we have the cups here. So you guys can really get out there and just be like, really, paint the town red with your creativity. It's just that intense and that strong. All right, so let's see what else we have for you guys. We have time for a nap. Higher power. And round and round. I don't know why these cards kind of come up together, these two, sometimes. But pile one, I feel like really in your dreams, maybe your shadow self comes out to play. Probably you guys dream of conquering countries. You dream of conquering cities. Probably you guys dream of yourself as the ruler of some place. But at the end of the day, your shadow self is like, excuse me, if you guys feel like your connection with the higher power is kind of disconnected, like it's not happening, or it's not as strong as it once was. Probably there was a time when you guys were really connected spiritually, your spiritual powers were like off the top. And recently you guys are feeling like over the years, you guys kind of feel like, it has diminished. It's not as strong as it used to be before, probably because you guys haven't faced the darkness that is inside you, this shadow self that is begging to be, recognized. It's begging to be acknowledged. Probably you guys have been ignoring that power, your shadow energy, for too long. And that is why things are not really happening for you. They're not really working out. You're kind of, you can see there's a keyhole here. So probably your shadow self is the key to your higher power. Your connection with the higher power is not just that you guys can just ignore it and think that, because there is that suppressed energy. So when there's a suppression, there is a blockage, there's an obstacle standing there. And that is why, you guys can see there's that round and round. You guys are just going back and forth, and it's not working out. Probably because you guys haven't really, and probably you guys maybe, some of you guys might even be suffering from nightmares, flashbacks kind of a thing, because we have the Ten of Swords, we have the card of pain here, of betrayal, of dealing with a lot. So probably your dreams are not, you're sleeping, like, your sleep schedule is not as synced or as smooth as it would be for other people, because you wake up and you guys are scared, you guys are crying, there's just that pain. So it is really that your shadow self is asking for attention here, pile one. That's all it is. It just wants that attention. It wants to, it wants you to love it. It wants you to accept it. So give it that time. It will really unlock your spiritual connection with the higher power. It will probably open up your third eye as well. If you think that your third eye is kind of closed down and it's not responding to you anymore, it is not that. It's just that there is that blockage where your shadow self is like, hello, I exist as well. Talk to me. Pay attention to me. I promise I wouldn't hurt you, I feel like your shadow self can really help you guys out rather than being your worst enemy. It's going to be like more of a friend that is going to help you conquer it all, should you choose to do so. And all you have to do is just acknowledge it, as just be with it, listen to it, talk to it, listen to what it has to tell you. It might not be the most accepting of things, like it might give you a suggestion that might be taboo, that might not be something the world might accept, but then you can easily choose to ignore it. But that doesn't mean that you don't listen to what it has to say altogether. All right, so this is all I have for you guys, pile one, in terms of your shadow self. If you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hi pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your shadow self, see what it has to tell us. So we have Judgment, we have 2 of Wands, 7 of Wands, and the King of Wands. So for those of you who are not aware of the concept of shadow self, it is a concept coined by Carl Jung, who was a psychologist in the past, and really, according to him, there is a shadow self which kind of houses all our darkness, all our taboo thoughts, everything that we refuse to share with the world because according to us, the world is not going to accept it. So that's a part of ourself, that darkness inside us, that belongs to our shadow self. All right, so over here we're gonna take a look at what your shadow self is all about. And with the Judgment card here, I feel like despite you, we're talking about your shadow self here, so don't think I'm talking about you and you alone. Like, a shadow self is a part of you, so it's just that one part, that dark part. So do not think that I'm commenting on the entire you. Okay, so we have Judgment here. So I just feel like pile 2, that despite you guys being very accepting of people, there's your shadow self is very judgmental. Like it is incredibly judgmental. It's all about, okay, like, because you know what's right and what's wrong. Your shadow self is incredibly aware of it. Excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with my throat. But your shadow self is just like, I know what you did right and I know what you did wrong. So because of that, I feel like, you guys can, your shadow self can be very vindictive. It's all about taking revenge. It's all about facing, like, confrontation is a big thing. You guys might not be that way on the outside. You guys might not even accept that part of yourself where you're like, no, I cannot think of revenge, I cannot think of such things because it's not good karma, whatever your reasoning is, pile 2, that is up to you. But your shadow self is like, no, I want to hurt this person who hurt me. I want to, I want to confront this person who thinks they can get one over me, or they can go around spreading rumors about me. I want to talk to that person. I want to be like, how dare you, you really, like, that shadow self is like in a lot of pain, and it's really angry because we have like 3 fire cards here. I just feel like your shadow self is really, really angry because it has dealt with a lot of injustice. It has dealt with a lot of pain and betrayal and just petty things that people do that really kind of just irks this shadow self of yours, the shadow energy. And really, there is that kind of need for vengeance here. Excuse me. And the thing is that your shadow self wants to be let out. Your shadow self does not want to remain hidden inside this cave. You guys can see there, even the centaur is trying to come out. Your shadow self wants to explore the world. But I know it can't do that because you're keeping a tight hold on it, that you're not letting it out. You're just keeping it locked in the deep recesses of your soul. But that doesn't mean it doesn't want to come out and play. It wants to talk to people. It wants to probably set the world on fire because of all the pain that the world has caused you, Pile 2. And even if the world hasn't caused that much pain to you, but we all have this darkness inside of us, and we're just exposing that darkness in this reading. So it really has this kind of fiery energy here where it's just like, and I just feel like if your shadow self really comes out to play, if it really takes over you, really comes out to play, I don't think anybody can ignore it because nobody can ignore fire. The heat of it, the pain of it, the brightness, the light, all of it cannot be ignored. And that is where that is how your shadow energy is very intense. It's very bright. And I just feel like with the 7 of Wands here, it is more than ready to prove itself to be that top energy. Like, I just feel like your shadow self wouldn't mind tearing through people. It wouldn't mind pushing through obstacles to get to the top, to really rise above. Because we have that King of Wands energy. This guy is all about ruling, always running around, making sure that things are being done as he wants them to be done. We have the Aries energy. So Aries people are very impulsive. You guys might be an Aries or any fire sign, Leo or Sagittarius as well. But since we have the Aries energy here, that's why I'm emphasizing on Aries. That they're very impulsive, they're very out there, like they wouldn't think twice about barging in and confronting someone. And that is your shadow energy, very impulsive. Probably if ever you let your shadow self out, you might find yourself making all sorts of impulsive decisions, doing all sorts of impulsive things, and people are like, you're normally so calm and composed, what is wrong with you today? And sometimes you might also wonder that what's happening, that's not like me. But Pile 2, it is like you, because the shadow self is a part of you. And sometimes when you suppress it for too long, it's gonna show its face. It's gonna be like, hello, I'm also here. It's my day. So really, you need to develop that healthy pattern to have a very healthy relationship with your shadow self, like accept it and pay attention to it from time to time, so that it doesn't come out at unexpected moments and kind of, makes the world go like, you are so weird, Pile 2. What is wrong with you? The people might say those kind of things just because you're acting kind of different, not not all that the way you normally do. So it really kind of when that happens, when your shadow self comes out and really takes people by surprise, people are just that kind of really puts a damper on your mood. That really makes you question that if you are okay or if you're crazy or whatnot, because people will always label you crazy the first chance they get. So really develop that relationship with your shadow self. And let's see what else we have for you. Okay, we have Judgment again. So I just feel like, really, not just the fact that your shadow self is really vindictive, but I just feel like your shadow self is incredibly judgmental as well. I would say that it judges people. It sees people. Some people might think that you guys are not smart enough to know when they're lying to you, or when they have an ulterior motive. They think they can manipulate you. But you see this eye here, your shadow self sees it all. Really, no one can lie to you. No one can do that. People shouldn't even bother, because your shadow self sees it all. That darkness inside you, it sees it. It just knows that, okay, you think you can lie to me. I know what's right. I know what you're up to. So there is that constant, that eye, your shadow self's eye, it's always around, watching what people are doing, seeing what they're like, and really understanding, okay, and even going as far as to judge what they're doing. Because obviously, when people can judge you, your shadow self can definitely do that. It can judge them right back. So do not feel bad about it. We have the King of Wands again. Okay, this is really interesting. We have Temperance and the Knight of Wands. So there's a lot of fire energy here. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire signs. There's a lot of fire. I just feel like there's rage inside. I mean, your shadow self is furious. It is angry. It's really angry. It just wants to really, and especially because probably what happened was that probably people really put up a lot of restrictions on you, telling you not to do this, not to do that, or don't do it like this, don't do it like that. Like, people made it really hard for you to live your life, pile two. And that really just fed into your shadow soul, it just left you so angry and so hurt, that now your shadow self is like, I can't deal with this anymore. I want to burn this world down. I want to hurt everyone who hurt me, or, you for that matter. So there are these recurring thoughts I'm seeing, because I just feel like your shadow self wants to come out and be that ruler, so people have no choice but to acknowledge it. I mean, nobody can ignore the king. Nobody can ignore the king. Everybody just is dying to see that king. They look forward to seeing the king whenever it arrives. The king cannot be ignored. That is how your shadow self wants. It wants to come out and tell the whole world that, hello, you thought that you could hurt me. You thought you could lie to me. But now I'm going to show you exactly what pain is. I'm going to show you exactly how much it hurts. So with the Temperance card here, I just feel like probably this is an advice for you guys, pile two, from the universe, that you really need to bring that balance with your shadow self. I feel like really, because we have so much fire energy here, and fire is really, you cannot control fire. It's gonna incinerate everything in its path. So what the universe is trying to tell you guys with the Temperance card here is that, okay, I'm getting a couple of messages, okay? First one is like, probably for your shadow self, that the universe is like, be patient, your time will come. You will have your vendetta, you will have the karma, whatever it is that you guys have been reaping. You will have the time to really come out and show yourselves to the people. And I just feel like it will come, because we have the two King of Wands here. So many wands. That I feel like there's a lot of passion inside you as well, inside your shadow self, full of passion and intensity. So probably you guys do not let that passion out. Like, if you guys are in a relationship, pile two, you'll be keeping it mellow, you'll be keeping it like on the down low, because that if your partner kind of sees and gets to know how intense you guys are, not just while talking, or not just in this relationship, but even while you guys are in bed or something, if your partner kind of gets to know that, they might not like it, they might not be able to handle it. So that's why you keep it on the down low. But your shadow self, that is intense energy. However, and it is because it is out of balance. Can you create that balance? We have the Balance card here as well with the Two of Wands, that you guys need to accept that shadow self, rather than just ignoring it or pretending it doesn't exist. It exists in all of us. There's that darkness inside every single one, but if we choose to act on that darkness, is up to us. However, with this Temperance card here, I just feel like the universe is telling you that do not ignore it, do not ignore this darkness, and rather have a very balanced relationship. Like, take the time to do things that kind of let this kind of intensity out. You can let your shadow self out while you guys are with someone you trust, or you guys are alone, you guys can let that power out. You guys can let that shadow self out to play, talk to it, bring that balance about yourself so that it doesn't really, come out in inopportune times and really take people by surprise and going like, hello, what happened to you here? Okay, let's see what else we have. We have new life, TikTok, and breathe. So breathing exercises might really help calm that fire that is burning in your shadow self. Meditation, being around water probably might help. If you guys resonate with the energy of water, it can really soothe that fire, calm that fire, help relax your shadow self a little. And I just feel like with the TikTok, this is kind of giving me a ticking time bomb kind of vibe. So I just feel like there are times when your shadow self just explodes out of you. And because, it's only a matter of time. The more you suppress it, they're like, okay, you can try to ignore me, but then I'm going to come out when you least expect it. So really, and that might cause a lot of inconvenience for you guys. So really take the time to, really hang out with your shadow self, that I would say. Do some shadow work. Acknowledge that pain. It's okay if you feel that somebody treated you unfairly. It's perfectly fine if you are hurt over something and people just blame you for overreacting. It's okay if you feel that way. Whatever you feel, you have every right to feel that way, Pile 2. I am already validating all your emotions, whatever you feel. But obviously the world doesn't. That is why it all just gets suppressed and your shadow self is formed, that darkness is formed. So we also have new life. Like I'm saying, it wants to come out. Your shadow self is just like, probably you guys have ignored it for too long. And that's why, but I just feel like your shadow self is, once you really build that connection with it, once you really acknowledge all that your shadow self is about, I feel like you guys as a whole, you guys will be a more holistic being, a more holistic individual. Pile 2, your life will take a new turn. You guys will be healed. And obviously new life is like, it's unmarred, it's pure, it's innocent. So really allow yourself to bring that change in your life. Allow your shadow self to merge with you so that you guys can be you guys can be whole rather than just a part of, the whole. So really, I just feel like, your shadow self is like, I'm coming out, just talk to me, give that attention to it, give that like a new sense. Okay, we don't have that card here, sorry. So really allow that new beginning to come for you, because once you your shadow self is not as bad as it seems to you guys. All right, Pile 2. So this is all I have for you guys. If you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's see what your shadow self is all about. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot, Six of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Okay, so Pile 3, if you guys are unfamiliar with the concept of the shadow self, it is a concept coined by Carl Jung, who was a psychologist in the past, and according to him, everybody has a shadow self which contains all the darkness inside of us. And oftentimes we refuse to acknowledge that darkness because we think that it's not right or it's not okay, the world is not going to accept it. But that darkness, that part is inside everybody else. So we are looking at your shadow energy, what it is, that the darkness inside you, we are tapping into that energy and taking a look at that. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot, Six of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is really telling me that your shadow self really dominates your mind. When it comes to really taking over, it kind of puts all sorts of weird thoughts inside your head. Probably some very nasty thoughts, probably some very taboo kind of thoughts. And oftentimes it also manifests in the form of nightmares, in the form of crazy taboo dreams, which you do not want to accept. You do not want people to know that there is a part of you that kind of thinks like that or feels like that. But with the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, with the Pentacles energy, it is a very stable kind of energy. I feel like your shadow self, very stable and a very strong and permanent kind of energy. It's not something that you guys can get rid of. I mean, nobody can get rid of the darkness, right? But your shadow self is more like more permanent, I would say, more kind of cemented inside you. And there might be, and I just feel like with the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, it kind of sometimes cause a conflict inside you. It causes chaos inside you. It kind of brews up a storm inside you, which makes it very difficult. Like you guys can see with the Chariot here, the white horse and the dark black horse. So it becomes really difficult for you guys to maintain a balance with your actual self and your shadow self, because I just feel like probably your shadow self is kind of a lot more strong than your actual self, the one you show to the world. But you know that you need to keep a rein on it. You need to you need to really keep it under control, which makes it really difficult because it is causing a storm inside you. It is it is really doing a number on you. Because your shadow self is like, no, you cannot ignore me. You cannot just think that I don't exist, because I exist and I'm gonna show you that I exist. And I just feel like really sometimes, and with the Six of Pentacles, I'm saying sometimes your shadow self can be really generous in the fact that, it can be really kind in the fact that it kind of gives you some way, like some really creative ideas. It can give you some really new, unique things to really think about, because Six of Pentacles is all about giving and everything. So probably, despite the chaos it causes inside of you, pile 3, somewhere there is that thing where either you are asking for, you're like, can you please not come out? You guys really try not to let the darkness come out, let your shadow self out to play. But you guys might realize that sometimes while you guys are just by yourself and you're allowing your thoughts to run free, your shadow self would probably throw you a bone or something and be like, hello, this is an idea, you guys can work with it. So what I'm getting, the visual I'm getting right now, is that you guys are really good at art, really good at painting or sketching, drawing. I don't know, there's like an expressive nature to you guys. Your shadow self has a very expressive nature and a very creative nature, I would say. That you guys it gives you an outlet, like you guys have that outlet to let your shadow self out. And I wish I had that kind of a healthy thing as well, but I don't. My shadow self just comes out in the most nastiest of times, and I hate that so much. But with you guys, I feel like it gives you some kind of inspiration, I would say, some kind of new, probably your shadow self is your muse, because it is so creative and it's so full of inspiration that you guys don't even need to look on the outside for inspiration. You guys can just look inside. And I feel like with the Chariot card here, you really do your best to strike a balance between you and your shadow self. Normally people don't do that. Normally people just ignore it and just pretend that it doesn't exist. Like all those dark thoughts, all those dark feelings, they don't exist. And that's obviously what causes problems. But with you guys are aware of this shadow self. You don't necessarily like it, but you are aware of it. So you also know that it's okay if you guys are alone and it comes out, that is fine. The problem is when it comes out when you guys are in public. So, but other than that, you guys are aware of it and you try to, keep a balance. That you don't let it, excuse me, you don't let it take over. And that is where your conflict arises. It's where your struggle is, because one part wants to dominate the other. One horse wants to go this way, the other wants to go that way, and you are, somewhere in the middle. But you need to understand that they're both part of you, and that is how you get to decide where to go, which path to take. We have awaken. Like I'm saying, you guys are aware of it. You guys have had that awakening where you are probably instead of just ignoring your shadow self, you guys are like, no, it is a part of me, so it's better if I accept it. People might not like it, but that doesn't mean I cannot love it or I cannot accept it. You guys might not love it. Hardly anybody does love the shadow self, but accepting it will just, it helps you rise up. It just helps you become a more holistic person. That is what I feel like you guys have done. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Ten of Swords. Okay, a lot of pain once again. So moreover, I also feel like with this Awakened card, your shadow self, yeah, it's not dormant. It's very active, and it is. And I just feel like there is so much pain, and your shadow self houses all that pain. It contains all that pain. That is why there's so much pain that it cannot remain hidden. Your shadow self cannot remain hidden because you guys have been holding on to that pain really tightly. You guys have suppressed it. You know how the Four of Pentacles is like really tightly holding on to something and not letting go. So there is that pain. There's so much that you guys are bottling up, pile 3. There is just so much. People have left you. People have ghosted you. People pretended to be your friend, and then, they were talking bad stuff behind your back. Oh my God, nasty stuff, nasty people around you. And that's how your, excuse me, so sorry about that. And that is how your shadow self gained so much power. It gained power to the point where it kind of got stronger than your actual self, because pain is meant to, like, when you ignore pain, it's going to come out in a more uglier way than if you just sit there and deal with it. That's what happens. I mean, you holding on to all that pain, all that hurt has kind of, made your shadow self so much stronger. And that is why, where that Queen comes here and be like, how dare you hurt me? How dare you think that I'm a fool? How dare you make a fool out of me? That is why it's just all about causing that chaos, because the Queen of Wands, Queen of Fire, what would the Queen of Fire do? Set everything on fire, really, take over, and that is, and be like really out of control, because fire is out of control. It's not something that one can come and, be like, okay, one cannot really contain fire unless you throw water at it. But one cannot really contain fire. When it goes out of control, there is no stopping. It's going to burn everything down. And I just feel like with the pain that you guys have experienced, pile 3, a lot of pain. I mean, not only is it messing up with your sleep schedule, but it is messing up with your entire person. And I can totally understand how come your, shadow self is so prominent, it's so intense, that it has taken up permanent residence. I mean, sometimes the shadow self is not that strong. Sometimes the darkness is not that strong because of our experiences with the world. But yours is like really intense, really strong energy, because it has been given that, it has been forced to kind of grow and grow and grow until now. It's just, it just comes out when you least expect it, or when you least want it to come out, because you've kind of held on to it. You've suppressed it for too long. When you try to suppress something that cannot be suppressed, that should not be suppressed, then it just causes inconvenience, causes problems. But that doesn't mean, I mean, with you guys, pile 3, I feel like you guys accept that despite the pain that you have been through, you do not ignore your shadow self. You do not think that, no, I'm not like that, or I don't think like that. You were like, yeah, I think like that because people hurt me, and people betrayed me, they lied to me. So if I'm hurt, if I'm in pain, it is because of that. And if my shadow self is coming out, I feel it because it is angry, because I'm hurt on the inside. They do say, in my psychology class, we were having this kind of a seminar thing, I don't know, but I don't remember as yet, but it was like, the hurt people are angry people. So if you find yourself being really angry and you're like, probably I'm having anger issues, probably that's what people tell you, that you have anger issues, you should go out, get yourself, talk to someone, get some help. But those people kind of refuse to accept the fact that they're the ones who hurt you. And if you are angry, it is because of them, it is at them, and there's nothing wrong with you. So you need to really understand that, pile 3, that there's nothing wrong with you. If you're angry, it's because you're hurt. And you're hurt because people hurt you, they hurt your feelings, and you have every right to be angry. That is healthy. But yeah, sometimes anger comes out in unhealthy ways. So you guys really, but you guys try, I feel like with the Chariot here, you guys really try to maintain that balance, to really let out your shadow self in a very healthy way. Like I'm saying, you guys might do a lot of art to release that pain. Probably you guys journal a lot, and probably you guys will be very amazing writers or something, very creative writers. Because you generate that, you manifest that darkness in a very healthy way. So that kind of gives you an advantage over the other two piles that I've done so far. So let's see what else we have. We have a co-create. Like I'm saying, very creative people. Very you guys kind of harness your pain in a very healthy way. Probably for some of you guys it might not be like that, but this is a general reading, so take it as it resonates. All that glitters. And we have soulmates. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so I feel like whoever your person is, I feel like your soulmate will be really the one who would love your shadow self, because once somebody loves the darkness inside you, they're gonna love all of you, in my opinion. That's what I think. That it's not just they love one part of you, they're gonna love all of you, pile 3. And all that glitters, this is kind of telling me that that same thing that people were like, they lied to you, they betrayed you. They kind of showed you a very rosy picture, and then they just took advantage of you, and that really kind of forced you to see things as they were, and you finally realize that people are not as beautiful as they seem. The world is not as beautiful as it seems. And I feel like, with this card as well, I feel like you guys are really aware of how ugly your darkness can be, of how disturbing or how, unattractive it can be at times. But that doesn't mean you don't love it. That doesn't mean that you don't accept it. It's a part of you at the end of the day. So you need to love yourself for that darkness to, like, you need to love all of you. And I can see that you guys do. I'm not saying that you don't. And I'm just telling you guys that I love all of you, darkness and all of that. So for those of you who kind of are having a hard time accepting this, or you do not want to accept this, know that this darkness is a part of you. Your shadow self is a part of you. And once you actually start acknowledging it, once you start accepting it, and just loving it despite what the world says, I'm telling you, you guys will be off so much better. You guys will be able to manifest things in a much better way, because you are becoming whole with yourself. You guys are becoming one with yourself. And when you do that, there's no obstacles, there's no blockage, which kind of prevents your manifestations from taking place. So this is like the universe kind of telling you that accept that darkness inside you. Be the Chariot. Hold on to both the horses with all your might, no matter how difficult it can get. But hold on to both of them, because both of those horses are yours. They're a part of you. And when that blockage is like released, when you shed that skin, the universe is like, take this, take that, because there is nothing blocking it. There are no obstacles, there's no customs that your manifestations have to go through. You're cleared of the customs. That is why you are able to co-create with the universe, because you become more aware of yourself. This awakened card here, you become more aware of yourself. You know your weaknesses, you know your strength. Sometimes we ignore we're not aware of ourselves because we do not accept all of us, right? Which kind of makes it really difficult for us to identify our weaknesses, our strengths. And yeah, then that just makes life so much difficult, right? But with you guys, it's the opposite. I feel like you guys are in a much healthier, in a much higher level than the other piles, pile 3, in that sense that you guys are really aware of the shadow self, all right? So this is all I have for you guys, pile 3. If you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you guys want to. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your shadow self. You have the 10 of Wands, Page of Cups, 4 of Wands in reverse, and Temperance. Okay, pile 4. So for those of you guys who are not aware of the shadow self concept, it is a concept coined by Carl Jung, who was a psychologist in the past, and according to him, we all have a shadow self, every single one of us, which kind of is all the darkness and all the taboo things which is kind of rejected by society, but it is a part of us, so it is inherently inside us. So all the pain that we suppress, all the taboo thoughts that we have, taboo feelings, whatever it is that is kind of rejected by the world, our shadow self kind of becomes that. It's a part, like it just becomes a part of the shadow self, right? So in this reading, we are kind of taking a look at that shadow energy that is inside of you. All right, so with the 10 of Wands, Page of Cups, 4 of Wands in reverse, and a Temperance, I feel like there is your shadow self. It's kind of really unstable at the moment, probably because it's going through a lot. Like there's a lot that is inside of you. Your shadow self is kind of, like that volcano, which is just about to erupt, because there's just so much activity going on inside it. That's the kind of energy I'm getting with the 4 of Wands in reverse and the 10 of Wands upright. That you guys have been through so much. There's just so much that dark energy inside you, that fiery energy inside you, that it is just, when it explodes, it's going to explode. And with the 4 of Wands in reverse, I'm also getting that this your shadow self, it's really kind of causing chaos inside you. Not even just on the outside, because but more like on the inside, because you haven't made that balanced connection with it at the moment. Probably you guys really do not take the time to, probably some of you guys don't really acknowledge it. You guys are not aware of it. Probably some of you guys might not even be aware of it. But, oh my God, with the Page of Cups here, you guys can see how this boy is looking at the cup, and the cup is full of water. But if you see it like that, it's more like, the person is looking at his own reflection. So what this card is really telling me is that the shadow self is a part of you. It is you inherently, essentially, but you guys think that that's not the case. You guys kind of shun that darkness inside of you, which then obviously is going to cause chaos, because you're rejecting a part of you, a part that is supposed to be accepted, that's supposed to be acknowledged, and you guys are not really facing that. Probably some of you guys choose not to face that darkness because you guys think that if people, like suppose somebody said something bad to you, and you tell that person that, no, that's not right, you are lying, you're not, that's not how I am. But on the inside, probably, somewhere you have those thoughts or whatever that person accused you of, and you choose not to, acknowledge that, because you're like, no, if I accept that part, then that person is right, and then it'll make you feel like you're bad and you are not right, or you are the evil person, or you're the bad person. And nobody wants to be labeled as bad. We all want to be good. We all want to be kind and loving. But just because there is that one part of you that is not kind and loving, pile 4, that doesn't mean the rest of you isn't. You are kind and loving and sweet and incredible and smart. All of those, you guys are that. But you guys cannot ignore that, the darkness inside you. We all have it. We all have it. I have it. Everybody has it. So it is really that you really need to pay attention. You really need to acknowledge this shadow self. I feel like you guys really don't. That is why we have this Page of Cups, where this person is looking at his own reflection. It might not be the best picture. Sometimes when you look in the mirror, you do not like what you see. I totally empathize with that fact, because I don't like who I see in the mirror. But that doesn't mean that reflection is not me. That is not me who's looking back at me in the mirror. It is me, whether I like it or not. So probably, like, the universe is telling you that darkness is you, whether you like it or not. And And obviously that would cause chaos when you don't like who you are, when you don't like who you see in the mirror. You are not going to be happy. There's going to be conflict inside you. There's going to be an instability inside you because there's just so much you guys are going through. Your shadow self is incredibly strong because it has been through a lot. There's a lot of darkness that you guys are suppressing, that you guys are not paying attention. You guys are not acknowledging it. You're not letting it out in a healthy way. And then we have temperance, which talks about balance, right? Because they're like these two cups here. Both of them are filled. So both of them have that equal amount of water, or she's you guys can, she's pouring water in the other one. So this card is really telling me that you guys really need to bring that balance inside you. You need to acknowledge your you guys need to fill up this cup as well, because then there's that imbalance, right? Because there's one side of you that is powerful and it is acknowledged and loved, when there's another part of you which is being ignored, which is which is just not, which you guys think that is non-existent. So that really causes that imbalance, because you are not, you're not whole. You're just nurturing one part of yourself, while the other part requires the same amount of nurturing and love and acceptance. You guys might not love it, okay? Even if love is too hard, you guys can just accept it, that, okay, yeah, this is a part of me. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, pile 4. Though we all try to be perfect, but that's okay. What I'm trying to say is that I accept all of you, I love all of you, and you guys need to learn to do that as well, just so that for this 4 of Wands can turn upright and be like, yes, now you guys are now you guys are whole. Now you guys are having a healthy relationship with yourselves. Because when you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, the rest of your relationships get impacted as well. So we also have the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, okay? So Queen of Cups, your shadow self really requires, I feel like you really need to do a lot of shadow work. There's a lot of shadow work that is required, because you guys are currently in a very dark place. You guys are not okay. You guys are not at peace. And that shadow work, that acceptance of your shadow self is required for you guys to move on to a better place. Because your shadow self, despite it not being the most ideal self, despite it being not your favorite self, doesn't mean it wants the bad for you. Like, it doesn't want anything bad for you. It wants to help you at the end of the day. Sometimes our darkness really helps us out more than our light does, right? It really helps us kind of, become more aware of ourselves. And you guys, like, I don't even know. I just can't explain how much your dark self can really help you out, because at the end of the day, it is a part of you. It is inside you, and it wouldn't want you to suffer. It doesn't want you to fail. So it really wants to get to a better place with you. It wants to have a better relationship with you, pile 4. That is why I feel like a lot of work is required. A lot of shadow self. There's a lot of, looking in the mirror and acknowledging that, telling yourself that yes, this is me, and I'm okay. I love myself. I'm perfect the way I am. This is how the universe wants me to be. This is how God wants me to be. So a lot of acknowledging is required here. You guys might not like it, what I'm saying here. You guys might not even agree with me, but that's the message I'm getting, and I'm doing my best to give you the message that I'm getting. So a lot of work is required for you guys to be in this 9 of Pentacles energy, where you guys are content with who you are, where you guys accept that, okay, yes, there are parts of me which are not so desirable, but then there are other parts of me which are desirable, and that makes me a balanced person. That makes me a very holistic person. I'm a very holistic individual. You guys will become more aware of yourself, because the fact is that you guys are not aware if you guys are not aware of an entire facet of your personality, of your existence, because the shadow self is a major facet of our existence. It's a major facet of our individuality, our personality. So when you're not acknowledging that, you guys cannot be content. There will be that instability. Like I'm saying, if there's a balance scale and then there's only weight on one plate of one side of the balance, obviously it's going to be imbalanced, right? So there needs to be that balance there. The love needs to come. You really need to talk to your shadow self, get to know it better, because it wants to know you. It wants to have a relationship with you. It's just hiding, you know. It's like it's getting stronger and stronger, but there's no outlet for it. It wants to get to a better place as well. It wants to put you guys in a better place, because your shadow self is working in your favor no matter how much you guys think that it's not. Because if we all didn't have darkness, if we all were just kind and loving and everything, then people will just keep hurting you. They will keep taking advantage of you, and then you won't be able to do anything. You'll just be hurt. But with this shadow self, you become aware of it, and you realize that it is perfectly healthy to be angry or be hurt, and to have such thoughts. I mean, it's fine. It's just like, you know, you need to let it out in a very healthy way. Pile 4, that's what I'm saying. Do not like do things that are not healthy, because unhealthy things, yeah, that doesn't help. So with the Queen of Cups here, I feel like there's a lot of acceptance that is required on your part for your shadow self. You guys really need to accept that okay, this is a part of me, and if I'm not going to accept it, nobody else is going to accept it. So once you accept it, once you acknowledge it, once you start going like, okay, you're there, I don't like you, but you're there, so I have no choice but to accept you. Just that part, just you giving it the minimal amount of attention is more than enough for your shadow self to, you know, bring about that healthy balance in yourself. It'll, you know, help you guys, because that unhealthy thing where you guys are just ignoring it, then one day it's gonna come out when you least expect it, and then there's just chaos. And I feel like we see that kind of stuff on TV these days a lot, you know, where it's just all going well, and all of a sudden somebody just goes out and just does things, right? So really keep that in mind, that you starting to have a relationship with your shadow self will really benefit you in the long run, Pile 4. All right, so let's see what else we have for you. To be fair, oh, we were talking about the balance right here. So you really need to, you know, bring about that balance, bring about that stability in your life. We have peace and fork in the road. Okay, so to be fair, like I was saying, this one is like, you know, you need to do justice to your shadow self. You really need to, you know, give that attention to it. Do not just think that doesn't exist. Do not ignore it, because it is essential for your peace. It is required for you guys to have that peace of mind where you guys are like content with yourself. That 9 of Pentacles energy, where you're content with yourself, because you know that because once you start talking to your shadow self, once you start doing this shadow work that is required, Pile 4, I feel like, you know, there's going to be a balance that's going to be inside you. That stability will come, where you know, both of your side, your shadow self and your actual self, they're both getting the love and attention and understanding from you. So when both of them are satisfied, you guys are going to be at peace. And when the time comes, and right now I feel like, you know, with the fork in the road card, I just feel like some of you guys might be, because you guys are not aware of one part of you. That's the energy I'm getting from this pile, that you guys are like, you know, kind of ignoring that shadow self. So it kind of really makes it difficult to, sometimes you guys have a hard time reaching a decision, because probably you guys want one thing, but then when you're not acknowledging that shadow self, you know, your mind and your heart are telling you to pick something else, and just you guys are kind of torn apart. You guys are just confused as to what to do, which path to take. Makes it very confusing, because you're not aware of yourself right now. But with this piece will come that knowledge that, okay, because we have the number 13 here as well, which adds up to 4. So with this number 5, we have the 2 and 3 here. So with that 5 number, the peace is going to come. There's going to be that change inside you, that stability inside you that's going to be coming in. And once that happens, you guys are like, no matter what path I take, I know I will end up in the right, at my destination. No matter if I go the left or the right way, I will end up at my destination, because you will have that confidence in you. You will have that faith in yourself, that yes, and you know, acknowledging your shadow self, doing that shadow work will really make you more aware of your strengths and weaknesses. So that's why probably you'll be able to make the right decision based on your strengths and your weaknesses. And that's like where your shadow self is doing its best to help you out rather than being your enemy. It is not your enemy, pile 4. It is a part of you. So if it's a part of you, it cannot be your enemy, no matter what people say about it. But like I'm saying, talk to it, do some shadow work. I feel like that is like really required. You guys really need to pay attention to it. And I feel like that is really going to solve more than half of your problems. Just you being aware of your shadow self and just accepting that, yes, it exists and it's a part of you. And if you guys are having a hard time accepting that part of you, let me tell you, I accept that part of you. I love all of you. Every single part of you there is. So, so even if you think that nobody loves it, you guys need to know that I do, all right? So this is all I have for you guys, pile 4. If you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.